Hi, I'm Jackie Etchebest, the owner of Golden Youth Rejuvenation Center and Pilates. And today I'd like to ask you a question. So are you starting to notice things changing? Like, have you noticed that it's a little harder to get up off of a low chair than it used to be, or it's harder to get into the chair? Have you noticed that if you get on the ground, you can't get up? Or maybe you're starting to fall or trip over things and you didn't used to trip and fall over. Or are you suffering from chronic pain, your back, your hips, your knees, your feet, your neck? Are you kind of starting to go, gosh, I'm not flexible like I used to be, and you can't do some of the activities that you used to do, so easily, and now you're kind of falling away and you're missing out on things and you're not engaging in a lot of the activities that you did, and you're saying, well, I guess it's just because I'm aging, or well, it's because I hurt my back, or I had this injury years ago. So really, do we need to settle for that in life? Really, do we? I say we don't, and a lot of this sort of chronic activity that goes on is really just a lot of, it's partly aging, but it's also partly, it could be an injury, it could be surgery that you've had, it could be some kind of health dysfunction, but it could be medications that we're taking. But do we really have to settle for that? Because if we start settling for a lack of mobility, a lack of flexibility, a lack of strength, a lack of muscle tone, then what is it that we're losing? We're losing our freedom. We're losing freedom to be able to get up and do the activities that we used to do. And even if we're older and we have grandchildren, don't we want to be able to enjoy our grandchildren? So what are you going to do about it, right? I mean, do you want to be on drugs the rest of your life? Do you want to have surgeries? Do you want to just suffer? No, none of us do. So through the years in my practice as an esthetician and also as a Pilates instructor, I have just come to notice how so many people at such an early age, even as early as in their 50s, have already lost strength, mobility, flexibility. I mean, they're not able to get up off the floor. They complain if they're going up a flight of stairs that their knees go out, they're vacuuming, their hip goes out or the back goes out. They're unable to do so many different things, and because they have to be so careful of their backs and their hips, and I just thought, I mean, that's unacceptable behavior. We should not be immobile at such an early age. And actually, there's no reason, even as we go into our advanced years, that we should be immobile as well. And losing strength and losing your flexibility and losing mobility it's a loss of life. It's really what old age is. Old age is not about wrinkles. Old age is about not being independent. And what we are all striving for is to live a life of independence. And we want to be able to live without having to have a walker or a cane or a wheelchair. We want to be able to just get up off a chair. If we get on the floor, we fall down. We want to be able to get up. We want to be able to go to the grocery store and pick up our groceries. So these are just everyday things that we need to be able to do. And so because of this, I finally decided that I wanted to do something to help my clients that come through here. So I am proud to announce that I am including into our spa and Pilates center the Flex Zone. And the Flex Zone is basically a stretching clinic. So what is a stretching clinic? Well, we do resistance stretching. What is resistance stretching? It's flexology. That is a combination of isometric combined with stretching. So it allows you through this process of flexing and contraction of the muscle. It helps build muscle. It helps create flexibility, which in turn gives you strength. It gives you mobility, and it gives you the ability to become more agile and more youthful. And it also helps relieve chronic pain. And it helps perhaps even prevent you from having injuries when you go out and participate in sports activities like golf or any of the things you might do, running, cycling, swimming, any of those. So there are two ways to do resistance stretching, which can be actually restorative and remedial to help people with injuries or dysfunction, but it can also be used as a fitness modality where just building muscle and strength and flexibility, you're just more in shape and more fit. But there's unassisted stretching, which I have started incorporating into my Pilates routines. So that person usually does the resistance. So when you're working on someone unassisted, they're doing everything. They're having to contract the muscles in an isometric way, and then while contracting and holding that muscle, they have to stretch. So they're doing stretching and contraction at the same time with a little moment to relax, and then they do it again for a few reps until they're able, eventually someday they're able to like go full range of motion, holding that muscle contracted the whole time. The other version is assisted stretching, and that is more enjoyable probably to most people, but for people that really have a hard time being able to control their muscles and contract and stretch on their own, this is probably a more desirable way where you lay on a massage table and a therapist assists you. So whatever muscle group you're working, she'll ask you to resist, which is a contraction or isometric movement of that muscle, and then she will stretch you while you hold that muscle in contraction for as long as you can while she stretches you. And again, you do a few reps with every time getting a little more range of motion, just a little bit more, until eventually someday after a few sessions you're able to go full range of motion and contract that muscle. So what is all that doing? It's building muscle mass. It's lengthening tendons, ligaments, muscle. It's giving you flexibility, it's giving you strength, and it's giving you mobility. And with mobility comes youthfulness, and it comes vitality, it's energy, and it's protection. So you don't have to worry about falling down if your ankle rolls or any of those. So having said all this, I would like to give you a little demonstration. So there's two ways to do resistance stretching. One is assisted and the other is unassisted. So I'm going to demonstrate right now with Kathy, our massage therapist, who also is a flexologist therapist and who does the assisted stretching. So she's going to be our model for the unassisted stretching. So unassisted stretching can be done in pretty much any major exercise modality. For instance, I teach it in Pilates. It's great. You can do it in yoga. You can do it with weight training. Any of those can be used. Any of those modalities would work with the resistance stretching, and it would only just intensify the workout and give you more benefits from it. So let's just kind of take a look and see how that works. So in a Pilates setting, we're going to work on the lower body. So the two areas that I seem to hear the most complaints about for lower body, most people suffer from sciatica. So today I'm going to just show you a couple of exercises that are great to strengthen that psoas muscle and the hamstrings and the glutes, and that keeps the hip stronger, and it helps keep your hips from like getting weakened and then the psoas muscle becoming inflamed and then pinching on your sciatic nerve. So this is great, and it's a great flexibility thing, and it really loosens up the hip flexors as well. So we're going to do what is known as Peter Pan in Pilates. So we're going to start off with the legs at 45 degrees, V feet, and they're flexed. So on the inhale, Kathy's going to bend her right leg in, and it's relaxed. She's just bending it in. And this leg, her left leg, is going to go straight up. So what's happening here now, she's in a relaxed position, but just being in this position, she's stretching her hamstring. On this position now, she has caused her glute muscle, her hamstrings, her hip flexors, and with the flexion in her foot, she is tightening and strengthening her ankles and the top of her feet, as well as her calf muscle. So now she's going to resist and flex her own muscle. She's going to contract those muscles in an isometric way. So go ahead, Kathy, contract the muscle in that right leg. And now she's going to hold for 5 counts as she brings the legs down, and now she's going to relax. So the idea was that she contracted the muscle there that she felt on the right leg. This leg was stretching, this one was contracted. And she held it for as long as she could to get to starting position. And so once she got to starting position, she relaxed her muscles, and now they're not contracted at all. So now she's going to work the left side. So now she's going to keep them relaxed. This leg is going up, and now as she's going up, this leg is starting to stretch all by itself. As she bent this leg, the muscles started to contract again in those hamstring, gluteal, hip flexor areas, calves, feet, and ankles. So now she's going to contract them manually. Here's how she's going to force them into contraction. And now on a long exhale, 5 counts, she's going to extend them out as she comes back to starting position, and now she's going to relax them. So she's going to do it again. So bend the right knee in again one more time. This leg is stretching. This leg is going to be contracted. Contract the muscles now and hold the contraction for the period of time until you come back to starting position. So now bend the left knee. Now this leg is stretching because it's going through some major contraction. Now this one's going to contract. And now she's going to hold that resistance and she's going to bring it back out on those 5 counts of exhale and relax. So that's one really good exercise. And anything for sciatica where the knees come out and you're in a froggy position is excellent to really lengthen and strengthen that psoas muscle so that it doesn't contract as much and then cause you grief on that sciatic nerve. So another version, same foot position, she's in a V position, her feet are flexed, so she's working ankles, she's working the feet, and she's going to be working the calves. On the inhale, she's going to bend both the knees in together. So she's in a relaxed position, but now she's hit this point now, naturally all those muscles are contracted along the hamstring, the hip flexors, the calves, and the glutes. She's contracted. Now she's going to contract those muscles, and she's going to hold that contraction, and on that exhale, she's going to lengthen them out to a count of 5 and come back to her 45-degree angle. She's going to relax those muscles, and again, one more time, Kathy, bend it in. She's still relaxed, but now she's going to manually contract those muscles. She's going to resist, and for a count of 5, she's going to bring them out and relax. So again, she worked all of this pelvic area. She worked the hip, she's working the sciatica area, the psoas, she's doing the iliac area, inner thighs, back legs, everything is getting worked, the calves, ankles, and feet. It's a total body workout, and it's so great for sciatica and the prevention of it, and even to alleviate it as well. So now I want to address the second most problem area that I encounter, which is actually shoulder pain. I would say that that's probably the number one thing that people suffer from, upper body. So I want to show you a couple of exercises where we're going to be working the pec or chest area and the actual shoulder area. And this also, again, the two work together. The pecs need to be strong to protect the shoulders protect the pecs. They work together in synergy. So I want to show you a couple of contractions on that one. So Kathy's going to take her palms out in front of her, and she's going to bring her fingertips together. And so this position in Pilates is called hug a tree. So on the inhale, she's going to now open her arms out to the point where she feels her shoulders and her pecs start to contract. Once she feels that, she's going to stop there. Now on the exhale, she's going to contract them manually herself, and she's going to bring slowly on a 5 count. She's going to bring her fingers together, and once she brings the fingers together, she'll relax them. She's going to continue to be relaxed. She opens again on the inhale, and when her shoulders and pecs start to naturally contract, she's going to squeeze them even more, bringing them together, counting to 5, slow exhale, because when you exhale, it's much easier to keep those muscles contracted. So just do one more, just so everybody can get a feel for it. So you're going to open, and now they've naturally contracted. You can see that she's got contraction right through here. So now she's going to squeeze. So squeeze those muscles, keep them contracted. You can see they're really contracted. Bring them together and relax. And go ahead and intertwine your fingers and relax for a second. So again, she worked this whole area here. She worked the outer part of the pecs over here, which work in conjunction and which help strengthen the shoulder area. So now the next one I want to show you is the gift. So she's going to start with her elbows at her side. Her palms are going to be up. So the gift is anything that is a little bit higher than your waist, so it doesn't have to be very high. And you only go as high as you can go until you feel your shoulders contract. So Kathy, go ahead and start lifting your arms up, and once you feel your shoulders contract, stop at that point. So now that's her point right there. So now she's going to squeeze her shoulders, and she's going to slowly now start bringing her arms back, and she's going to bring her elbows right to her side. Once she gets here, she's going to relax everything. So now she's going to take another breath. She's going to raise them up again. And once those shoulders contract, there they went, they just went. So now she's gonna squeeze and make them even stronger. She's really gonna hold that contraction, bring it down on a long 5 count exhale as she brings them down for as long as she can, and then she's gonna relax. Again, take it up, one more time. And the other thing I wanna point out is that as she comes down on that exhale, she's also engaging her tricep muscles. So as she's coming down, and the tricep also, and she's gonna stop right here. So her tricep muscle has contracted, but when she was in the raised position, her shoulders and her pecs were contracted, and those all work together. So a strong tricep also affects your shoulder. So by working the triceps, by working the pecs, you're strengthening the shoulders as well. So that is a couple of exercises for shoulder, and then we've done the sciatic problem area exercises. And so I would like Kathy now to give you a demonstration of what you can do for both upper and lower body issues in an assisted stretching, where she will be doing the stretching and utilizing the client's ability to contract and hold the resistance while she's stretching them.
Relax. One more time. Resist. Relax. This time we're just going to stretch it. A little good stretch in it, but not too far. I'm just going to let it hang down here. This time, I want you just to resist upwards. Okay. Resist. Relax. Resist. Relax. Resist. Relax. Relax. Relax all the way down. And bring them up. Resist. Relax. And one more time. Resist. Relax. Okay. Let's start with this one. I'm just going to take it singly in by itself. Is your knees okay? Mm-hmm. Is that a good stretch right there?
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you resist towards my hand.
Okay.
We're resisting so we can get better stretch. We need to build up our muscles. So we're doing this for. So I want you to resist me. Relax. Resist. Relax. Resist. Relax. So now you feel a good stretch, but not
there.
too far. Okay, so
I can already feel it.
okay, at this you're going to be able to resist it right here, right? It's not going to
Yeah.
be too far.
I think so.
Okay. So this time you're just going to resist down. Okay. Resist. Relax. There. Resist. Relax. And you should see a difference as we go along. Take it a little bit higher.
Mm-hmm.
Resist. Relax. One more time. resist. So I'm just going to stretch it. And I'm just going to stretch it. I'm not going to do any resistance this way. So you should bring your foot that way. So let's hip up a little bit.
I hope that this video helped you kind of get a feel for what resistance stretching is / flexology and the flex zone and what we're all about. Because here at the flex zone, we are trying to bring back quality of life. We're trying to bring back youthfulness. We want you to be able to be free to live your life on your terms, to not have to be limited and encumbered by doctor's appointments and pharmaceuticals, or having to wear braces and use a walker or a cane, or being in a wheelchair eventually, just simply because you didn't do some small simple things, and really just using resistance stretching as well as another exercise program, as well as the other usual things, trying to keep your stress down and trying to have healthful eating habits and sleep habits. All of these things combined, but really the flex zone is really about giving you back your independence. So if you're kind of interested and curious about, you have more questions, and we would love to have you call us, ask us anything you want. We're more than happy to explain anything to you, and we hope you'll give us a try, because really we want to create a better life for everyone. So come to the Flex Zone, join the movement, and help us make Americans flexible and independent again. Thank you.